Welcome. Welcome to the pop-up. The mind of lunatic. We in effect. Let's see who's up. My insomniacs, those who can't sleep, those on the East Coast where it's 6 o'clock in the morning, all across the world. It might be early in the morning where you're at, afternoon, whatever. If you can't sleep, you want to hang out with your boy Lunatic? Come on. Come on. I'm not sending out no links. This is just a pop-up. So we just gonna sit back and wait and see who exactly is up this time of night. Who got a notification that, oh, the mind of lunatic is on? Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome to the mind of lunatic after hours podcast. Yes, indeed, man. We'll talk about anything. This is where anything can happen. We could talk about the Raiders. We could talk about a lot of different stuff. See, a lot of you guys probably can't sleep, tossing and turning. Insomnia is a motherfucker. I know. I suffer from this shit. That's why I do a show like this. I just pop up early in the morning. Everybody sleep, except for I. Ah, there go my guy. Hey, there they go. They popping in now. What's up, Navy vet? What's up, BL? Let's see who else all of a sudden just gets an idea. Like, oh shit, let me take on. Yeah, like I said, this is my pop-up show. This show can happen at any time. 3 a.m., 2 a.m. It's gonna be after hours though. It will definitely be after hours. It won't be in the daytime. It won't be in the early evening. This show is specifically just a pop up for my insomniacs, people out there who can't sleep, people out there who are up, who work graveyard. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody, man. Let's go ahead and give out the love to my family, man. Shout out to Navy vet, man, in the house, man. We got BL in the house. Yes, indeed. Raider Fontaine is in the building, man. Top of the early morning. You feel me? You had a feeling I was going on. How did you have a feeling? Like, how did you know? I didn't even know I was going on. See, now we got some entertainment for you guys, for those who can't sleep. You know what I mean? That's why I put this show together, man. This is just one of them ones where, like I said, I can't sleep either. I get like a good 5 hours of sleep. You know, man, I try to force myself to get more, but just don't work that way. You feel me? So I got off work. I got off at 2 o'clock this, you know what I mean, this morning. I was like, hey, go home, take a shower. Let's do it live. Let's do it live. Let's just go ahead and do the mind of lunatic live, like we always do. Talk about anything and everything. We're getting close to the draft. Y'all know that shit. Um, shit. Well, I heard. I don't know how true it is, but they saying that the Raiders are looking either to move up to 3, which everybody knows that Arizona's sitting right there at 3 and could trade back. Or the Raiders could trade back. And I'm down with whatever. You know what I mean? They said the Raiders have their eyes only on 2 quarterbacks, and I'm wondering if it's I'm thinking C.J. Stroud and Bryce, what you call it, but I'm kind of worried about. I'm not worried. I'm kind of thinking about Richardson too. You know what I mean? Anthony Richardson. I mean, after the pro day, after the combine, this kid says all the right stuff. This kid sounds like he really wants to learn and be great. You know what I mean? But then again, I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if he's just trying to sell himself because he want the higher you drafted, the more you get type shit. But all in all, yeah, Jorge C, what's the deal, man? Top of the early AM. You know what I mean? I decided to pull out the old mind, take a trip into my ear. You know what I mean? See what's in the mind of a lunatic. Talk a little bit of Raider shit. Talk about anything y'all want to. Talk about anything you want to. Sailor Jerry's and Alfontaine. Jorge C. Yeah, we in here. It's just us right now, y'all. So I mean, I don't expect a lot of people because I don't share the link out as far as I'm live now type shit. It's like either you know or you don't know. It's just one of these little private ass type shows, you know what I mean? To you guys out there that are members of the channel, I did release a mock draft Yesterday, I think it was. No, the day before yesterday, because this is Monday now, fishing. Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Sunday. I released it Sunday, if I remember right. I don't know, I'm drawing blank. But I did a mock draft, man. Y'all might want to check that out, man. Only for the members. Like I said, I try to give them content that nobody else gets since they're supporting the channel, being a member, and I appreciate that. So I'm trying to come up with stuff for you guys. This mock draft, though, hey, I like the way hey, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Y'all, members, go check it out. Go check out the mock draft, man. Check out the mock draft, and I'll be dropping a mock draft once a week for the members of the channel until we get up to draft day. You know what I mean? So drop one now. This weekend will be another one coming, because that just lets me know when I get down to my fourth. Is it how many weekends we got? No, the draft the 27th. So 3, huh? 7, 14, 20. No, 4. I'll have 4 mock drafts for you guys, for the members. Because there's gonna be news out there floating. You never know what trade goes down, what picks get traded, exchanged, what the Raiders are gonna do. Are we gonna move up? Are we gonna move back? Are we gonna sit still? There's rumors floating, so I'm just gonna play off the rumors. Also try to pay attention to whose stock in the draft is either rising or falling, and then incorporate that into the draft into the mock draft as well. And then I will be doing a mock draft for you guys with trades. So we're gonna go ahead and pretend that we do move up to 3, and first we got to see exactly what Arizona is expecting. You know what I mean? As far as moving up from 7 to 3. Are they going to try to, expect us to give everything? But I'm like, it's only 4 fucking spots. You know what I mean? We do have extra picks that we can throw up in there. I wouldn't want to give up a second. The only way I give up a second if it's next year. You know what I mean? I'll give up next year's second if we can go into this draft and get the guys we really want. So if CJ Stroud, like for instance, it all depends on what the Texans do at number 2. If Texans decide to go defense over quarterback, and Stroud is that in the first quarterback, Carolina takes Bryce. I keep forgetting dude's name. See, because my close friend, his nephew, name is Bryce, and I keep wanting to say his last name. But quarterback from Alabama. Let's just say that shit. So if Carolina takes him and CJ Stroud is there, but the Texans decide to go defense, then I can see the Raiders jumping to 3 to get CJ Stroud. I can see that. Unless something crazy happens, like the fucking Texans trade out of the second spot to somebody who really wants Stroud too. You know what I mean? So, but I don't think. But then again, it all depends on how many needs the Texans have, and I know with what's the name going over there as head coach, a defensive-minded coach. Is quarterback first on the list? Is that who they go with at second overall in the draft, or are they just? I don't know, man. Because these motherfuckers got. They got 2 picks. Yeah, they got 2 picks. I think the next pick they have is 12. I think they got 2nd and 12. And the 12th one is what I'm looking at, because if these guys see, we talked about this before, man. There's a lot of shit that can happen in this damn draft, man. That's why it's crazy. It's crazy. But we'll see. Mike is up. Mike is up. We're gonna call him Mike. Mike is up. Yes, indeed, man. Yeah, we in that graveyard life for real. Motherfuckers ain't knowing. See, just woke up, can't sleep. Hey, my insomniacs. You know what I mean? My insomniacs, man. That's what we here for. You know what I mean? I just do a pop up down from time to time, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I know people can't sleep. You know what I mean? And I wasn't going to sleep when I came on, because I got off early. So I said, let me go ahead and fire up the computer and go ahead and jump on this live one time. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to see y'all though. Glad y'all here for real. Yeah, boy. With the ghosts and the goblins, boy, you know we be hearing bump in the night, and it be us. Be us falling out of bed. You're like, man, tossing and turning and shit. You know what I mean? Then you go to sleep and you get a good dream going, and all of a sudden something wakes you up, and you like, fuck, because you know how hard it's gonna be to get back to sleep. You try and you try to go back to sleep. You try to get in a good position, get warm. You know what I mean? Whether you lay on your side, your back, or however y'all sleep. I'm a side sleeper. You know what I mean? So I gotta just get comfortable and just start thinking of something. You know what I mean? All of a sudden the dreams start kicking in, and the motherfucker, all right. But yeah, man, shit, it's the insomniacs. We up, boy, we up. Yes, indeed. And yes, there still will be a Good Morning Raider Nation at 7. I almost wasn't gonna do it, because I was gonna force myself to give me some sleep, because I know when I do the podcast, I get off at 8. And shit, I usually don't go to bed till about 9. And then I get up at 2. So from 9, that's why I say only like 5 hours. Because I turn around and leave the house at 5 to go to work. So I at least want like about 3 hours, to myself to catch up on some YouTube shit or whatnot. But I was like, man, I'm not going to go live tonight. I'm going to skip it and just go straight to bed. But shit, it seemed like every time I get home, boom, like I be at work tired. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go home and shut it down. But man, once I get home, I'll be up, man. The blood get the flowing, and I'm like, shit, fuck going to sleep. then I'm at it all over again. Man, I'm already knowing. I left work early, so I decided to do this shit. Usually I'm at the motherfucking place till 5 in the morning. Everybody already know that. But I said, man, I'm gonna get off 2 o'clock and shit. I was gonna come and lay down. But like I said, once I'm up, I'm up. I'm not even tired right now, but shit. I'll do this to about 4 o'clock, shut it down, and then 3 hours later come back on for Good Morning Raider Nation. We'll talk some shit. East Coast is up already. Them motherfuckers, it's 6:22 for them. What the fuck is this? Oh, I'm tripping. Yes, indeed. I'll be trying to hit the news up on Twitter and see what exactly. But yeah, they reported that the Raiders are interested in moving up or moving back. But like I said, there's only 2 quarterbacks I see that they would have their eyes on, unless that they are real impressed by Richardson, but they're not letting it know what quarterbacks it is that they're interested in. You feel me? Which you don't, though. You don't want nobody knowing what the fuck you after so they can jump you in the draft. The draft is April 27th through the 29th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we got 4 weeks. Because let's see, this is the first week of April. Yup. 4 weeks. God dang, it's gonna come fast too, y'all. That shit gonna be here so quick. I'm just ready to see what the fuck we do. I don't mind if we trade back and get more picks. You know what I mean? Fuck it, load up. The more picks you get, the more you could be successful in this draft. Because like I said, all you gotta do is bat 500. All you gotta do is break even in this motherfucking draft. You'll have enough of fucking hitters to be on either on offense or defense, come in here and do their thing. So it's just interesting to see exactly how they maneuver in this draft. You know what I mean? If they move up, then I know they really got their eye on somebody. If they move back, there's a whole bunch of people that on their board that one of them motherfuckers gonna be there if they move back, and they can also accumulate more picks. I can even see them, and I remember I told y'all, pay attention. Don't be surprised if the Raiders move back in the first round, because their second round pick is close enough, and they got assets to go ahead and combine to get back into the first round, or even get back into the second round. You know what I mean? They got 2 third round. They might shoot two third round picks for somebody's second, and that'll give us 2 second-round picks. Shit, hey, whatever they want to do, they can do it, man. Just make this team get better. That's it. Make the team better for real. Yep, this draft, no excuses. Defense should be corrected for real. They should be able to go in here and fill a lot of needs with high quality type players too. Like you said, ain't no excuse. Ain't no give us another year. Nah, motherfucker. Your offense is done. You don't need nothing on the offense. You know what I mean? You need to get that defense just as potent as you made this offense. And I know the offense is going to have to carry us this year. You know what I mean? Just until all those young defensive players start developing. You know what I mean? Getting close to becoming what the front office expected them to be. So in the meantime, hey, offense got to get out there and score. We got to be one of the top teams in scoring this coming season. I know that's what's going to happen. You got to. Ain't no way around it. You got a bunch of new guys. You know what I mean? At all levels. You got a defensive tackle. You got Spillane in linebacker. You got the tackle that you got from the Chargers. You got safeties. You got corners. And that's basically, you know what I mean, letting these guys go ahead and compete and earn their way onto the roster. But the draft is what exactly is going to do everything. Yeah, man, I'm waiting for what Ziegler do too. You know what I mean? If this motherfucker get into this draft and wheels and deals and come out with some shit that we was like, because you know we do all these mock drafts, so that I like mock drafts because it gets you more familiar with the players that's in the draft. You know what I mean? Because there's so many players that's eligible that's going to be in the draft. You're not going to know everything about everyone. But mock drafts, you start paying attention and start reading about them. And you're like, okay, I like this dude. You know what I mean? So that's one thing with the mock drafts, man. It helps you. It opens your eyes to the players that are going to be out there in draft. But if Ziegler get out there and start grabbing these motherfuckers that we were like all hoping we would get, like, you know what I mean? I know we can't get them all, but just if you start knocking some of these names off the list that we was, Gonzalez and Carter and you know what I mean, all those names. You know what I mean? Witherspoon, you know, Cansey, Breeze, Ika. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit out there, man. I'm telling you, if he gets out there and they do this shit, that's why I said a lot of people. Hey, call them names, say whatever you want, but I got a feeling these motherfuckers got a game plan. They got a game plan. I'm just looking at free agency, and like I told y'all what I think they're doing. So now it's like they're going to be defensive heavy in the draft with these picks. Trust me. I think it's going to be like 3-1 as far as the way they draft defense compared to offense. For every 3 defensive players, there'll be 1 offensive player they go and get. Now, if they trade back anytime and add more picks, then that shit it becomes, you know what I mean? It becomes it multiplies. Brando, what's the deal? We love for them to go up and get AR-15. I think McNails on it. Yeah, I'm starting to warm up a little bit towards AR-15, but I don't know about trading up for him. But then again, his physical attributes is unmeasurable. There's no quarterback that's like him. As far as he's a physical freak. You know what I mean? And he does have an arm. He can throw the ball. It's just that whoever drafts him, they're just gonna have to, and just like any quarterback, you're gonna have to sit there and work with him and work on his accuracy. But you know what? I listen to his interviews. I try to pay attention to what he's saying, and the things that Anthony, I like the things he's saying, man. I like the thing because he admits they asked him what does he need to work on. He said his accuracy. He said, but to be honest, I need to work at everything because in order to be the greatest, I have to. He said, I know there's no such thing as perfection, but I'm steady trying to chase it. Man, he's saying all the shit that's the mentality you gotta have. You gotta have that. You gotta be available to be molded. You know what I mean? Because he has all the physical attributes. He got the hand size, the speed, the stature, 6'4", 230. They said 240, 244? Or am I going too high? No, I think he's about 240, 80. 230, 237 or something like that. Because I know and that's why I like Hooker too though. You don't have to. Hooker's gonna be, trust me, Hooker's gonna be solid too. And Hooker doesn't have an accuracy problem. You know what I mean? You just build on what he are, because I think that's that extra year of college that helps define him. But he doesn't turn over the ball and he has a high completion rate. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't mind if we went defense first, second, because hey, man, I'm telling you this, hey, if you get Hooker in the third round, if you can wait that long, and he's actually there in the third round, you take him. You take Hooker in the third round, bruh. I'm telling you, Hooker gonna pan out, and he's mobile. He got an arm too, but like I said, he ain't running like what you call it, Richardson, and ain't jumping high like him. But he's 6'4", 222, so he's not no little dude in that pocket. He is not a little dude in that pocket either, man. So that's the two I like, because outside of CJ Stroud, because you know what I mean, I think they're gonna go early. Ain't no way in the world we're gonna trade the second. I don't think Texans gonna trade the second pick. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that Texans go defense. That'll shift the draft to us for real. Because then we can either move the 3 and get Stroud, if that's there's only 2 quarterbacks they said that the Raiders got their eye on. Who they are, they didn't mention. They didn't say who. They just said there's like 1 or 2 quarterbacks that the Raiders have their eyes on as far as who they really like. And damn, to want to know what that shit is, who knows? Is it Richardson? Is it Hooker? Is it Stroud? Is it Levis? I mean, it's a guessing game now, which is good. Don't let nobody know. Let these other teams guess and try to figure out who it is so they can make the wrong selection. You feel me? To push stuff down to us. Maybe we stay pat at 7. You know, if one of those quarterbacks is there at 7, bruh. You know what I mean? Go quarterback then. There's defensive tackles in this draft that's going to be there second, third round, hands down. You know what I mean? Like I said, they can still trade back into the first round with that second round pick they have. I think that with the 38th, they got the 38th pick of the draft, or the 39th. I think it's the 38th. So they can move back into the second round and grab that defensive tackle. Maybe Kancey. You know what I mean? Maybe you can trade back into the first and get Kancey, so you'll have your quarterback and your defensive tackle if it ain't quarter. Kancey, Breeze is solid. Like I mentioned him. Ika. Now, Ika's a big old dude, man. That's a nose tackle, boy. Ika is no joke. 9 TDs rushing in 2021, so 26 TDs, 9 INTs total in 2022. 2,549 passing yards, 654 rushing, 3,203 total yards in 12 games. Yeah, they did go to dinner with Richardson. They sure did. And I think they're still going to bring him in for their top 30 visits. But they've met with Hooker twice already too, though. You know what I mean? They met with Hooker twice already. So they're really doing, hey, I'm not mad. Do your due diligence. Don't just get overly excited and boom, commit to somebody. Find out everything about them. Find out, you know what I mean? Is it a scheme fit? How are they between the ears? Like intellectual wise, a lot of shit you want to factor into, because when you make a pick for a supposed franchise type quarterback, you want to get it right. You don't want to. I mean, and a lot of misses happen too in the NFL. You draft a quarterback first round, don't mean they. I think only 50% of them pan out. You know what I mean? So hopefully you're on the right side of 50% and not the wrong side. So that's why, hey, do your due diligence. Pick through each one of these quarterbacks through their mind. Put them in certain scenarios, like, okay, if the defense is doing this and we're calling this play, you know what I mean? Get all the situational type football out there and see exactly how they react. You know what I mean? And not just that, a smart front office, what they would do, go through all these quarterbacks, because they're not going to draft all of them. So then when you do have to face these guys later on, whatever team drafts them, you'll have all the information about what their weaknesses is, what their strengths are. You know what I mean? How they view certain plays, what defenses give them more problems than others. You get all that inside information as well, and you can use it against them. So, hey, go ahead, get all the information you can get, because these other teams is doing the same shit. Oh yeah, Max to get help. Like I said, there's plenty of DTs. Like I said, this is the perfect draft that's heavy in defensive players, and we need a lot of defensive players. I said that shit before, man. It's a perfect situation, and we got 12 picks. I mean, you got 12 picks, so you got a lot of picks. It's a defensive deep draft, and we need defense. Bruh, the stars couldn't align any better than this. You know what I mean? The stars could not align any better than this to get your defense right. The only thing last thing that needs to occur is you hit on your picks. And like I said, I'll be fine if you only get 50% right, because out of 12, 6 of those motherfuckers is hitters. Bruh, that's almost a whole draft worth of players that just, it's like it's like you having 7 picks in the draft and you hit all of them but one. I'll take 6 out of 12. And let the other 6 be like, rotational, didn't pan out to be starters, but good depth pieces. You know what I mean? So I would live with 6 out of 12, just like you really like knock it out the park on 6 picks. You feel me? Dirty Eric, what's the deal, man? What up with it? Oh, you in Jersey 637? Yeah, hey, good morning. Yeah, man, this is that late hour, after hours show, man, for my insomniacs. People out there that can't sleep. I'm one of them, but I got off work early and I decided I'm gonna just do a pop-up. I'm gonna do a pop-up, man. You feel me? So shout out to everybody out there. Let me see something real quick. Where we sitting at? Yeah, we got 10 people in here. Shout out to the 10 people. If you are new here and you might not be in the chat, hey, please do me a solid, man, and subscribe to the channel, my brother. I gotta put this I would like to bring the chat up so people can see it. And I had it behind me. So what I'm gonna do is bring this one and bring this notification shit to the top. Damn, there we go. Yeah, there we go. We good. Yes, indeed. But yeah, we 10 deep. That's all we need. Shit, like I said, it's just, I'm not putting it out there for people to know that I'm live right now. So what I did was just pop up, and those who know, they here. So thank you guys to you for knowing. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, if Ziggler and Champ Kelly and them could do this shit and get this shit right, bruh, I'm gonna be so juiced. I'm gonna be juiced for real, man. Like, what the hell? They hit. Josh Jones in the house, man. Top of the morning to you. For real. Thank you for being here, man. This is just a pop-up show. You know what I mean? This show right here it just happens. You know what I mean? It is no set time, no schedule. It happens when it happens. That's why I be telling people, hit that notification bell. Hit that knock the hell out of that notification bell, so you could be notified of all the content I release, even breaking news. That's why I said, hey, hit that notification. It'll let you know. When I come on with this show right here, it'll let you know. Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. But yeah, Max does need help, and I know they're gonna address it. They'll be fools to not address. If we go into this draft and don't get a defensive tackle, like a named defensive tackle, I'll be surprised. Like, are you fucking shitting? But I got a feeling that no, they're not gonna leave no stone unturned. As a matter of fact, I would even think like in the later rounds, there's a couple of diamonds in the rough out there. There's some guys, and don't forget, remember Patrick Graham was the coach of that all-star college team, so he got inside information too. It'll make sense, and that's one thing I'm gonna check out. Like when they go through, when we get done with the draft, I want to see the players and which one of those players, how many of them were players that Patrick Graham coached. What was it? The Senior Bowl? He coached in the Senior Bowl, I think it was. So it'll be very interesting. I'm gonna go back and research and like look at all the names and go back and see, the all-star games that they played in, and if they played on the same team. They don't even have to be on the same team, because Patrick Graham could be watching the other team's defense as well. You know what I mean? And getting a mental note of like, ooh, number 90 right there, boy. Ooh, he might be a sleeper. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Yep, this is time to prove themselves. And this is the perfect opportunity. You know what I mean? This is the perfect opportunity. You got a plethora of picks. You now have a first and second, unlike last year, but you did use the first and second to get a tremendous ass athlete at wide receiver in Adams. I would make that trade again. And I'm glad they stuck to their guns, because they refused to give Green Bay 2 first-round picks. He said, I didn't want to give up next year's first-round pick. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have had the first-round pick this year if they would have went that route. He said, look, I'll give you a first and a second in this draft. And you know what I mean? Green Bay took on it. They bid on it. They had to. Because you don't know what that first-round pick where it's going to be next year, but you know where first and second is this year. You know what I mean? And they do, from the way the formula works, they say, like when you use draft picks for a later draft, like next year's draft, they're actually, like, if you gave up a first round pick, they actually look at that first round pick as being a value of a second round pick in this year's draft, because you have no idea where that first is going to be. You know what I mean? So you're going on blind faith that, I mean, it is a first round pick, but you don't know exactly where. And you know that the value of picks in a round varies. You know, of course, the first pick overall is worth more than the 32nd pick. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. They just got to get out there, and they're doing the right shit. They're going to dinner with these guys, bringing them in, talking to them more than once. They really trying to get an understanding and an idea of what kind of athlete are they dealing with here. Tap into the knowledge part to see how much they know, how much they can absorb through our system. You know what I mean? Quickly. And I think the ones that love football, that have a motor, and very, very, very observant on the field, like awareness. I always mention field awareness. To me, that's one of the biggest points athletes should have. Your awareness, because that not just a certain awareness, field awareness of the whole field. Aware of the quarterback, aware of the wide receiver, be aware of everything. Because once you become aware of it and understand what they're doing, you'll be able to forecast what they're doing in plays, which will make you that much more valuable, because you can get a jump start on whatever play they're running, because you aware of different shifts and movements, and you know what I mean, player tendencies. You know what I mean? Maybe the quarterback twitches his left index finger when he's about to you know what I mean, do a pump fake, or look for tendencies. So your awareness is very important. I always looked at that as being plus I played corner too, and I used to always have good awareness, because I was quick. And what I would used to do is I would fall off the receiver just enough to make the quarterback comfortable in thinking that he can make that play. and I'll jump the ball. You know what I mean? Because if you have tight coverage, they won't throw your way, and I'd be wanting the interceptions. You know what I mean? So I would just fall back off the receiver a little bit, far enough to know that I was quick enough to get there, and far enough to make the quarterback think that he can get the ball there and not have to worry about me coming in either batting it down or intercepting it. So I would like sit back and quarterback would go to him, and I boom just jet. That's back in my younger days though. I'm a little bit quick now still, but I didn't weigh as much as I do now. For real, for real. Oh, you like that background music? Yeah, that's my. I made that shit, man. That was originally the music I used when I used to have the Asylum, which is something similar like this. You know what I mean? The mind of Lunatic is an asylum. I'm trapped in my own mind. um, Situational awareness, exactly. So those are the kind of players you want. You want um, smart players. You know what I mean? That love the game and can just keep going, and like Max Crosby. That's why I said we need a team full of Max Crosbys. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the greatest player, but be the player that gives the most effort constantly. You know what I mean? You need that continuity of just constantly just giving the same every snap. You go all out. That's why they tell you in practice, go all out in practice, because it makes the games are easier. You know what I mean? Because you don't play like that in the games. Sometimes it slows down, sometimes it speeds up. But practice, if you just go hard through practice, game day is easy. But yeah, man, shit. I can't wait, man. We're getting close, though. Like I said, 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time. You figure once we get to Friday, or actually Thursday, see, this is the first week of the month. We get to Thursday, and then all we got to do is go 3 more Thursdays after this one. You know what I mean? 3 more Thursdays. Would I draft a wide receiver? I would. Not early though. Not early, because if you was to draft a wide receiver early, most likely you would want him to start, but he's not going to start because we know how complex. And I just seen an interview with somebody saying the same shit of how difficult this offense is. You know what I mean? So now, see, and thus this is the reason why they brought in former Patriots, not because they were Patriots, but because they know McDaniel's system, so they can get right in there and boom, they can start day one. Now everybody else that's been on the team last year, they currently, like Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams now has 1 year under his belt in the system. So what do you think? You think he was good this last season? Look what he did last season, and that's with him learning as he goes. You feel me? So now you go in the second year too with this team, with 1 year in your belt of knowledge of the system. I think I don't be surprised if Adams does even more this year, because it's just going to be muscle memory. You know what I mean? It's just he's just going to react. He don't have to overthink shit. He just knows what the play is and where he has to be and what the quarterback is going to do. And they want the receivers to play every wide receiver's position. You know what I mean? Because they moved Devontae all around, slot and whatnot. This offense is going to be fucking scary. I'm telling you right now. Say what you want about Garoppolo. Garoppolo's job is not to come in here and shine with the thread the needle passes. No, his job is just get these guys the ball and let them do the rest. Let them do the rest. You know what I mean? And he knows the system too. That's why I said I think this offense you'll see a different offense as far as the way they function compared to last year. I think Carr kind of fought it. You know what I mean? I don't think Carr was really, because you remember Carr made statements like, well, I just throw the ball where the coach wants me to throw the ball to. From what I'm hearing in that offense, you got options. You know what I mean? There's options, you know what I mean, on the route that the receivers run. It's crazy. The way they broke it down, how complex it is like, oh. So it's like multiple Multiple routes ran, or not multiple routes, but in a play, there's multiple routes that one receiver runs. So at different parts of the route is different parts that the ball could come to him. This is how I'm going by what I heard them, how they broke it down. So usually a play, you run a certain route, boom, out and in type shit or fade and all that other shit. But the way I heard them describe McDaniel's offense is like, even if you were running a fade, there's other parts within that route you're running that becomes points of where the quarterback can read and hit you before you know what I mean? It's not just the final where you end up at is where you get the ball. No, it's complex. It's complex. You know what I mean? And I think Carr struggled. Well, I know Carr struggled with that. You know what I mean? Carr struggled with that. Now I think and then and here's the rumor. And this was funny. People say that that McDaniels didn't give Carr the power to, audible out the line and all that, and he was mad with the saddle. I heard that was false. I heard that's a lie. Because the first thing Garoppolo said when he got signed with us, and they asked him about him and Josh McDaniels, he said, "I love Josh McDaniels' system because it gives the quarterback control of the offense." I'm like, wait a minute. If that's the case, why they say Carr didn't have control of the offense? You can't have control of something that you don't know. See, Carr did not know the system. Because there's a lot of times Carr made like the wrong read and went through the wrong progression. Some of the wide receivers ran the wrong route. You know what I mean? I know for certain Renfro did and Waller did. You know what I mean? I know for certain they did a few times. I've seen it. So now you go out there and you go get you some wide receivers that know where they're supposed to be and how to run the play. Hey, that Jacoby Myers, watch this. Jacoby Myers, I'm going to say this shit right now. I'm going to go out and say this shit right now. Jacoby Myers and Davante Adams will be the best receiving duo in the NFL this coming season. And the reason why I say that is because we factor in Josh Jacobs is a factor in that. That, you know what I mean? If Josh Jacobs forced people to stack the box, and now we're going man on both Jacoby Myers and on Davante Adams, I'm telling you, that's going to be the best wide receiver tandem. Now I'm about to say some shit, but don't kill me for this one. And I'm not saying exactly like this. It's gonna be something similar to, and I'm not comparing them to them. I'm talking about as far as what they brought to the offense when the Raiders had Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. I'm not saying that Davante Adams and Jacoby Myers or Jerry Rice and Brown, but what I'm saying is they'll have the same effect. Because having those 200, come on, they were both 1,000-yard receivers with Gannon. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, I got that feeling. I just got that feeling, bro. The double is not going to be existing no more. They will not double Davante Adams no more. And if you man Davante up, he's barbecue chicken. You got any more? You know what I mean? Finger licking good. If I leave the horse with water, I'm going to beat his ass until he drinks. No, let me quit. Yes. That's why they ran into each other. But that's understandable because they see, last year is an analyzing type season. You know what I mean? I know we had promise of wanting to make it to the playoffs and do something. And the coaching staff and the front office, they had hopes of that as well. But it didn't work out that way. It showed them a lot of shit that they had to fix. Micah Beasley, Milka Beasley, what's the deal, man? Top of the morning. Thank you for being here. Manuel Rodriguez. Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo? I know a little bit. Bien? Bien? Yes, indeed, man. So I just got a feeling, bruh. I got a feeling. Is this because like I said, okay, we know how McDaniels like they keep mentioning like back with New England how they ran with 2 slots at the same time, Edelman and Amendola, Dollar, whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it. Don't forget, you see, we keep looking at the fact of having Jacoby Myers and Renfro, right? You can still use both of them. I don't think Renfro going anywhere. I don't. He could, but it won't happen right now. It makes more sense to trade him after June 1st. And by then, I think we're going to be set. But don't forget, they also use Devontae Adams in the slot as well. You know what I mean? If you want to do the little doubles, you move Devontae to the slot. You can move Jacoby Myers outside. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a lot of shit you can do in this offense, bro. Oh my God, I can't. I want to see this shit. I just want to see it because I'm trying to picture it, and it's gonna be. Oh, it's gonna be something, man, for real. I think it's gonna be something for real, man. Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking for it. Hopefully, we get some little tidbits of information being dropped as far as what the Raiders do plan on doing. You know, these gonna be very, very, very interesting. Very interesting, for real, for real. Shout out to the 12 people out there. You know, we keep this shit lit. You feel me? I'm about to shut this shit down, y'all. It was a good hour, but I will be back at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern with the Good Morning Raider Nation Live podcast. So if y'all up in 3 hours, come right back. Come right back. We gonna get back into it. Hell, we might even do a mock draft just for the fun of it. Yeah, we might just come out the gate with a mock draft. I like to see, because one thing I learned about these mock drafts, they do update like the value of players in this draft, because I done seen the draft like change in the top 5, like, you know, where certain players are slotted to go, and then all of a sudden you start hearing news about, oh well, this player at the combine, and like Richardson is going before they even get to us. You know what I mean? Before you could get Richardson, now you can't. If you at 7, Richardson is not there. They even had fucking the Colts drafting Richardson. You know what I mean? So, no, we got to keep doing mock drafts, bro. We got to keep doing them. We got to keep doing them, because it's like, I'm going to give you a little bit of dope, 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 and bam, you get the whole motherfucking kilo on draft day. Oh my God, I'm fucking with you. We'll do something. We'll check out some players. Yeah, we don't want to run the draft into the ground. I feel you on that one, Cool Gal, for real. Well, you know what? This is what I heard about the team last year, and it's crazy, because now it's starting to come together and understanding what the fuck happened with this team last year. Okay, first to start with, Mark Davis coming out and saying he don't think McDaniels and Ziegler knew what they were getting themselves into, right? And what that reference was to the fact of the team that you have on the field was not the same team in the locker room. This is what I'm hearing. This shit is leaking out. So that's what Mark Davis was saying, as far as they didn't know what they were getting into. Of course they didn't. They're coming to a new team that they have not coached any of these players. And like I say, year one, you got to analyze what you have and what they are capable of doing. Or do they fit what you're doing? If not, get rid of them, bring somebody in who does, right? So the whole thing, the way I read it, is that the team on the field was not the same team in the locker room, which we did hear about rumors of teammates fighting and getting knocked out. So that started to let me know that there was some kind of division. There was some kind of division on this team. Now, I don't think it was the division of what we think it is. I don't think it had anything to do with Basasha. I don't think it had anything to do with Carr. I don't think none of that. What I think it is, I think it is because if you remember some of the press conferences, Carr and them all said the same shit. I think it came down to some of these players didn't give the effort that other players gave in practice. You know what I mean? There were some players that half-assed. They didn't go hard in practice. And McDaniels, from what I'm hearing, is the kind of stern type of coach who pushes you to go hard in practice because it makes the games easier. Max Crosby came out and said, "Oh, you would think that." He said, "No, we didn't practice. Come out early in the morning to beat the Heat. He had us out there." You know what I mean? When it was like 116, 17 degrees practicing. I'm like, okay. He's one of those coaches. I had a coach like that in my high school coach. He was stern, but he was cool. You know what I mean? My coach in Pop Warner, that motherfucker was stern. Oh, that motherfucker was stern. He was pushing us to, you know what I mean, to be the best we could be, though. I was never one to shy away from hard work. And that's what they say. McDaniels is the kind of coach that he wants you to put in hard work in practice, which makes sense. You practice hard and the games become so much easier. So much easier. You know what I mean? So that's why you see how the Raiders were a little bit testy. What last year was the Rams, huh? We joint practice with the Rams and then they shut it down early because of the testosterone. Yeah, they out there in that fucking heat getting pushed. And I think the players that are not here no more were the players that half-assed went through practice. I think Abram bullshitted. I think Hankins kind of bullshitted. I think a few players out there bullshitted in practice and did not go hard. They did not go hard in practice. And that's why they're no longer here. And I'm starting to read in between the lines and remember the interviews and shit, and they all were basically saying that shit, that some players bust their ass out there and other players don't. And I think that's where the division came in. The lazy motherfuckers against the motherfuckers that busted their ass to try to get some shit done. And I think that's where the fights happened. And the lazy motherfuckers got knocked out. Like, I know Perryman was one of the hardworking motherfuckers. Come on, man. This motherfucker out there in 200-degree weather with a beanie on. You think he give a fuck about heat? He was out there. And every time you see him in practice. Yep, any job you don't do, your job, you're getting fired. That's real shit. Man, that's why I said the motherfuckers I think who dragged their ass for this team is no longer here, and that's what happens when you come in as a first year regime. You have to analyze your personnel. You got to know exactly what you have, because you got to remember what the New England was in the playoffs the year before last under McDaniels, so they kept playing while we didn't keep playing. And when did they get the job? When did Ziegler and them get hired on? Let me see. I'm gonna show you the timeline of how short of time they had to do anything. When did Josh McDaniels and Ziegler get hired by the Raiders? So January 31st is when he was hired. So you might as well, January is gone. Now you got February, right? So you come in February, the shortest month out the year, and then March was free agency. So 2 months, he was right into free agency. And 3 months, he went into the draft. Hey, I know they had to do a lot of, and see, last year during the draft, I remember they said they already got the scouts and them working on the draft that's coming up now. They were a year ahead. They had to. You had to be, so you don't have to be scrambling at the last minute to start putting shit together for free agency in the draft. You know what I mean? So yeah, they missed the whole month of January. Sure the fuck did. January 1st is when they got hired. So they only had 1 month or 2 months before the free agency started. So now you got to go through your roster and see who's the free agents on this team. You know what I mean? Who do you let walk? Who do you bring in? You had to figure all that shit out in 2 months. And then a month after that, you went right into the draft. You know what I mean? So I think this year, that's why I said you can't judge these guys by year one. Year one is basically a throwaway year, man. You know what I mean? They did not know what to expect. They went in there hoping, it's a team of good players. They made the playoffs. You know what I mean? And that's why they gave Carr and them the extensions. That was the kind of extension where if it didn't work, it was easy to get out of. If it did work, you keep them under that contract and keep playing with them. And that's smart. That they left themselves a loophole out of that shit, just in case it didn't pan out. So you can't go in there and be for certain that, it's going to work with Carr. They did the same thing with Garoppolo's contract. You know they can get out of Garoppolo's contract after this year, right? The same way they did Carr shit. So they want to see if Garoppolo's going to come in here and pan out. And see, not just that, now you're going to have the added bonus of if you do draft a quarterback and you sit him behind Garoppolo for a year, and this guy can absorb and soak in the knowledge that he got in the system and really has the system down pat. Shit, what do you do? If you go with the young rookie over Garoppolo, you can cut Garoppolo and don't take a hit. Now you done freed up more money for free agency for the following year, because now you'll have a rookie starting after 1 year and he's still on a rookie deal with a 5th-year option if you take him in the first round. So they're playing this game right. You know what I mean? It's the long game right now. It's the long game. Like what they did in free agency. They went and plugged holes. They got depth, but they gave a lot of these dudes 1-year contracts. How do dudes really play on 1-year deals? Prove it deals? Either you ball or you fall. You ball for the bag or you fall and be off the team. And other teams is going to look at you like, nah, I don't know. You know what I mean? So they set it up where they put a lot of these dudes on 1-year deals that they know has to prove it. So now they got to go ball the fuck out this year, like Josh Jacobs did. They took away that 5th-year option, so Josh didn't have nothing to hang his hat on. He goes into the final year of his contract and balls the fuck out. Balls the fuck out. I expect Jacobs to get they might want to extend him, a small, like a 2-3 year type shit. You know what I mean? And then that way you can lessen the blow of that $10.1 million and add more money under the cap if need be. You know what I mean? What the salary would be in year one of an extension. But yeah, man, it's a wait and see though. But let me go ahead and jump off here, man. I will see you guys at 7:00 a.m. right here. Raiders Elite. It is a Good Morning Raider Nation live podcast, man. With that being said, man, guys, if you can't sleep, hey, go jack off or read a book or, anything like that can put you to sleep, handle your business. I'm Lunatic Raider. This is the Mind of Lunatic, man. I will see you guys in a few hours. Hey, Raiders, NWA all motherfucking day.